This is something you didn't write it, right? This is different from Fable in that Fable you brought from concept to finish all the way singly. But this film you were brought on basically as the animator. Is that the case?
Uh, yeah, kind of. It was a very collaborative process where I ended up wearing a lot of different hats. But basically, it originated with Hina Lemoana's idea of telling this story, which is really her story of her people, and bringing it to a wider audience. And she brought in Dean Hamer and Joe Wilson as collaborators who were kind of longtime collaborators with her with other films and documentary films. And they're documentary filmmakers. And they realized that the best way to tell the story was through animation. And they stumbled on my work, I think probably through the PBS stuff, the Native America projects, and then saw Feral. But um, they realized that it was a good match stylistically with what they were thinking about. So they brought me in fairly early. I mean, they had a script, but the script was still in flux. And I was honored that they brought me in that early because I was able to kind of help guide the script a little bit, and I was able to introduce some characters that weren't there even in the original script.
Yeah.
And and then from that point on, we worked on a storyboard. I made a storyboard. I made an animatic, where I determined the pacing of the film. They provided some temporary narration that I could use to 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 kind of structure the film. And while I was working on the animatic, I also provided some style frames, just basic illustrations of the final look of the film. And this is
Right.
something that
Yeah.
kind of for pivotal moments in the film, like five different style frames of the key scenes,
Right.
so they could get a sense of what it was going to look like. And you can, at that stage in the process, you can play around and experiment with lots of different aesthetics, different looks, different character designs, different color palettes, and you can do it fairly risk-free because it's quick to do.
Yeah.
But once that's established, once you have the style frames in the animatic, then they pretty much left me alone, and I just kind of made the film. Checking in with them every week or every 2 weeks or something, just to show them the animation as it was progressing, and they would give me notes about little things, little details that specifically details that pertain to the accuracy of um, the culture, making sure that the houses looked right and the clothes that people wore were appropriate to the time period and all of that. And they provided a lot of reference material for that.
Yeah.
But as far as the kind of the shaping of the film, the pacing, the look of it, that was all up to me. Um,
Yeah.
so so yeah, I was the animator, but I was also really the designer and the storyteller. I mean, the pacing of the film was determined by the animatics. So,
Right.
um, and then towards the end, we also brought in Dan Golden, who was the sound
Right.
designer for all my other films,
Right.
and he also made the sound design partially for Kapaemahu as well, because they had some existing music that they wanted to use, and he was able to kind of fold that into his own sound design.